Hello everybody. My first makeup tutorial, I thought it was a bust. So, after a couple of other attempts after that, didn't work out either. I didn't have enough storage space on my devices. So what I decided to do was I'm going to do this in parts, starting with the face. So, part 1, face. I've already cleansed my face. I use Neutrogena Deep Clean, and sometimes sometimes twice a week, I'll use the Neutrogena Deep Clean, which is an exfoliant, oil-free. It's a gentle scrub, and it just gets rid of all the excess yuck. With skin of my age, you tend to have to do a little extra. Doesn't stop wrinkles or anything like that. That's something I think genetically, people with more melanin in their skin, when they say black don't crack, that's no joke. I'm black, but I'm beige, and beige does age. What I do is twice a week or so, I've got these retinol facial cleansing wipes that I go on top of what I've already used to cleanse. Retinol is really important to have in your skin. It kind of helps in dealing with lines, creases, wrinkles, whatever. It doesn't necessarily make them go away, but it does help prevent them. I wish I had known about this earlier, but better late than never. So I gently go over the face and neck. You know, the neck is the greatest telltale of someone's age, and my neck is starting to tell it. It's starting to yell. Hello everybody, Mickey's over 60. Going on 62. So, hopefully this video will help someone of age appropriateness to mine. But I'm sure that there's a lot of younger people out there that could also learn a few things here and there. It seems like the trend these days is to look like drag queens. I don't know why. There's enough of them out there that are not women. I don't think women need to look like men that are trying to look like women. Just look like women, because that's what you are. You don't have to go overboard. So, you know, with the lashes going down to the floor, snuffleupagus, you know, sweeping the ground. It's not necessary, but hey, do you, boo. That's today's age, you know. That's what the youngins is doing these days. I'm sure the older folks had stuff to say about my generation too, but oh well. So, now that I've lightly gone over my face with the retinol facial cleansing wipes, I'll move that out of the way. I have this stuff called Life Cell, and it's from South Beach Skincare. I would hope it's working pretty good. It costs like $180 something for a tube. I've noticed that it does help my skin in terms of it's not as dry as usual. It also kind of corrects some of the fine lines that I do have. So I'm gonna put a little bit on each side. I try not to rub my skin too much. That's part of the problem with makeup application, is that when you're young, you don't take into consideration that the more you touch your face and tug on it and, you know, just whatever you do to it, you're causing it to stretch over time. And if you have a heavy hand, you're causing more damage. So if you're going to be wiping your face, it's always good to wipe upward. That's something my grandmother taught me. My grandmother lived to be 94 years old, and I swear she didn't look over 70, honestly. But she was of a darker persuasion, so, you know, she had that genetic blessing, you know, but Mother Jones was no joke. She looked young for her age. So, she always taught me, when you wash your face, always go up. Because gravity pulls down. And I didn't listen at first. Shame on me. I was hard-headed. Always was. But as I got older, I understood where she was coming from on a lot of things, especially child rearing. I thank God for her. Took me to church and everything. So she did her job in raising me. And she didn't have to, but she did. So that's one thing I can say about black people. Black people are a loving people. They've done it for generations and generations and raised other people's kids whether they wanted to or not. And thank God mine wanted to, because they were my blood. My grandmother was my blood. She was my father's mother. So, no, she wasn't my mammy. I didn't come from some rich white family. That is not in my DNA. The white side of my family had nothing to do with me, simply because my daddy was black. That includes my mother. So, if you read my book, you would have known that. That's for another day. So for those of you who have wondered, well, she says she's black, and, well, here's a little tidbit. I claim what I am. You ain't gotta like what I am or like what I claim. But I love you. Okay. Got that on. Now, I know it seems like I'm putting a lot of stuff on my skin, but that's because I'm about to just do the skin. I usually use primer by Il Makiage, but this Il Makiage skin in this jar, it's got a really nice texture, and it is very similar to primer. So sometimes I fluctuate between the two. This time, since the last couple of times I did a tutorial, I used primer. I want to save all my primer. I don't want to use it all up doing tutorials. So I'm going to put some of this Il Makiage skin. It's a gel, and it goes on really smoothly. And it's got a nice texture to it. Fills in lines. And it's nice to have under your makeup, regardless. I'm not putting on foundation, as I said before. I stopped using foundation a while back because it settles into the creases. So I use a pressed powder instead because it doesn't shift. And it doesn't liquefy and creep into the creases. So I use that instead of foundation. Now, every now and again, I might use some foundation if I'm going out at night. But for day use, I don't use foundation. Because at nighttime, you don't see all them wrinkles like you do in the daytime. Nighttime hides a plethora of flaws. So, it doesn't take a whole lot to put on. Just dabbing a few dabs. Going up. And I'm even putting it on my eyelids this time. Even though I'm not in this tutorial gonna do my eyes. That's gonna be the next tutorial. Because who wants to sit through a tutorial for 2 hours? Some people might want to sit and look at live streams while people do their makeup on live stream. I'm not that girl. I like to get up and walk around at times it's just not my thing. Now, maybe later on down the line, when I get enough courage to do live streams, I'm just not ready for that yet. I like the ability to press pause or press stop, you know, and rewind and try again. So, here we go. Just smear this on really smooth. I had my hair cut yesterday, so it's being really weird. And I'm trying to keep these little loose hairs that didn't get, you know, brushed away when the barber was cutting my hair. Sometimes they fall at the least opportune time. Okay. So now that that's done, make sure it's all even. I do this forward because when your eyes, of course, you know, as said before, your eyelids have the thinnest skin. It's the most delicate skin on the face. Some say it's the most delicate on the body. Some may not agree. But nevertheless, we do have a tendency to touch our eyelids a lot. And when you touch them and you stretch them, guess what you're doing? You're thinning them out. So when you get older, if you've got hooded eyelids already, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because then you're stretching the skin out. And then the next thing you know, you've got more crow's feet on the side than you could have had over on this side. And then they'll kind of droop down, you know, that kind of thing. Now that happened to me, and I'll be the first to tell you, I went and got my eyelids done. Not necessarily for cosmetic reasons, but because the eyelids were so droopy on each side, it was interfering with my peripheral vision. Okay? So I had to bite the bullet and get my eyes taken care of, you know. If I was going to do it cosmetically, I would have done the under eyes as well, but I'm not that vain. I mean, I'll be the first to admit, yeah, I care about my looks, but I ain't going to go broke. You know what I mean? So, I've got all those little things taken care of. There's little black flecks that keep falling off of my eyelids from the eyeliner I didn't catch during the wash and scrub process. So, beg my pardon. Okie dokie. Now what I'm going to do, since I've put my base on, my primer replacement, so to speak, I'm going to use my Il Makiage, or I'm sorry, not Il Makiage. I'm going to use my Makeup Forever pressed powder. It's got a really nice consistency. And it's light. You don't have to put much on for it to do its job. It provides very good coverage. And they've got a ton of different colors. So I'm going to lightly dab it on my forehead first, just so you can get an idea of just how effective it is. Get it all the way up to my hairline. And then I kind of swirl it lightly just to fill in some of them lines, them good old lines up there. I call them wisdom lines. I got them lines on my forehead, kind of got it from my grandfather. It's a genetic thing because we used to have the same facial expressions. I would always go, huh, huh? And he used to do the same. And when you do that, of course, over time, you're going to get lines. Lines on your forehead, just like the old man. My dad had them too. My grandmother didn't. So then I'm going to go lightly under my eyes. And there's little fine lines under my eyes. So I'm pushing upward to fill those lines and going lightly side to side as well to get that coverage. Also on the bridge of the nose. I'm avoiding my eyelid because I don't usually put it on my eyelid. I use concealer for my lids to secure my eyeshadow. Gently pushing up and around. And then side to side. And basically that's to lift this part up. See, this comes from wearing glasses too. That little area right here. So. And then the rest of it, you just dab it in. Always making sure to brush upward. That's the key, brushing upward. Lightly dabbing and brushing upward. Get the tip of that nose. Get inside the creases around the mouth. And for you smokers out there, I'm sure you already know, when you get older, you get smoker lines right around the lips. Make sure I get all that filled in. Get the jaw area. Make this as even as possible. Now, this is kind of difficult for me, believe it or not, because I'm as blind as a bat. And I don't know anybody that's able to put makeup on while they're wearing their glasses. Now, if you've got contact lenses, that's another story. I don't wear contact lenses. Never have. Never needed to, because I never really needed glasses except for to read. And then as time has gone on, it's just a matter of needing more just to see television or see my tablet and stuff like that. So dust it all down in there. Up, 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 up. I'm trying to make sure my neck and my face match. Okay. Now in this tutorial, because blush is part of the face, I will put my blush on as well. I'm not going to wait until later on down the line, because that doesn't take much time. Okay. So I think I've got it all for the face. Even a little bit behind the ear. I can't really see that. Okay. And last but not least, my blush. Okay, I use NARS blush. It's pretty well used. Really nice color. And it's lasted me quite some time. And it's gonna last me even more time. I'm not one that throws makeup away because I've had it for 6 months or whatever. I keep my brushes clean, and I figure if I keep my brushes clean, I'm good to go. Others may not agree, but you can throw your money away if you want to. I'm not the one. Makeup costs too much money to be thrown away after 6 months. Oh, I've had it too long. Oh. So, what I'm going to do with my blush is, got this fat angled brush. It's kind of fat, but it's not too big, but it's angled. Place it on here and just dab right along. Blow off the excess. And starting up here, just under the cheekbone, where it's hollow, I dab lightly under the cheekbone and drag it out very lightly to a point. Now, this is going to be thicker on this end, and then it veers into a point. And that's to create a hollow effect of the actual cheekbone, to make it appear a little higher and deeper. If by chance you use too much, you've got the option of getting your pressed powder and going over it, and that'll lighten it up some, because I have been notorious for doing that, trying to get it just right. I think I just did it again. Okay. And to correct that, it softens that up. Doesn't look like somebody slapped me across the face with a leather belt. Okay. And repeat on the other side. Hopefully I won't have to correct the other side. Dab, 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 dab. And just bring it down just a little bit at an angle to a point, and then go back and kind of fill this up some, make it a little hollow under the cheekbone toward the back, and then blend. And yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to go back and reapply some more of the powder, but not much. Okay. Ooh, I almost put it on the wrong. Ooh. All right. Face is done. Thank you so much for watching. Tutorial number 2 will be the eyes. And basically that's going to encompass the eyeshadow and eyebrows. Okay? So, just to get this basic stuff out of the way and keep you from having to sit glued to your screen. What is she going to do next? What is she going to do next? We're going to do this in steps. That way I can save space on my device as well. I'll upload this. Leave some comments in the comments if you'd like. Like, share, and subscribe. I hope you return for the eye tutorial. If not, God bless and thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.